Welcome to Celinka Updates. Today we are diving into the emotional and explosive revelations made by Marjorie Barretto as she finally broke her silence about her ex-husband Dennis Padilla and their children, Claudia, Julia, and Leon. Following the recent wedding of Claudia Barretto to her longtime partner Basti Lorenzo, tensions flared once again as Dennis voiced out his frustration in the media. But this time, Marjorie has had enough. From accusations of physical abuse to emotional trauma, here is the full story behind Marjorie's shocking interview. The wedding that sparked it all. Claudia Barretto married her longtime boyfriend Basti Lorenzo on April 8th. The wedding was an intimate and private one, just as Claudia wanted. But days later, Dennis Padilla granted an interview claiming he was disrespected at his own daughter's wedding. He said he wasn't allowed to walk Claudia down the aisle, was ignored by guests, and was even seated at the back of the church. This prompted Marjorie to speak out in a two-part interview with Ogie Diaz on April 11th. Calm yet assertive, she clarified every issue and in the process dropped serious allegations against Dennis, including physical abuse, emotional manipulation, and long-standing damage to their children's mental health. The truth behind Claudia's wedding. Marjorie explained that Claudia didn't want to publicize her wedding or even her engagement. She convinced her daughter that inviting Dennis was the right thing to do despite their strained relationship. Claudia eventually agreed with two requests: that Dennis wouldn't share anything about the wedding online and that she would walk herself down the aisle. Marjorie added that a few weeks before the wedding, Claudia reunited with Dennis over a meal on March 18th, along with her siblings, Julia and Leon. It was Claudia's way of setting boundaries. According to Marjorie, Dennis agreed to both conditions, and had he disagreed, he wouldn't have been invited at all. During the actual wedding, Marjorie said Dennis arrived looking mangas or arrogant. Contrary to his claims of being ignored, Marjorie showed proof that her family, including Leon, greeted him warmly. She also clarified the issue of the seat. Dennis was assigned a front row seat, but chose to sit at the back himself. His assistant was reportedly taking videos throughout the ceremony, also against Claudia's request. As for the walk down the aisle, Claudia walked alone as planned. Marjorie only met her halfway to lift her veil at the altar. And while Dennis' side later said he cried along with the coordinator and his mother wept over not walking Claudia down the aisle, Marjorie denied these happened. Marjorie speaks on the estrangement. Marjorie revealed that her three kids have been estranged from Dennis for years, not because she told them to, but because of how he behaved. She shared that every time he did an interview, her children would suffer from public criticism and personal anxiety. We have common friends, I have told repeatedly. Tell Dennis the sooner he stops agreeing to interviews, the faster reconciliation can happen, Marjorie said. She stressed that she never brainwashed her children against him. In fact, it was Dennis who planted negative ideas. Marjorie recalled how even before they separated 18 years ago, he would pick up the kids and say, "When you grow up, I'll tell you what your mother did to me." Julia's rise and the fallout that followed. When Julia Barretto entered showbiz, everything changed. Marjorie recalled that this was the moment Dennis began appearing in interviews again, airing their family issues publicly. This, according to her, led to Julia losing endorsements and feeling emotionally unsafe. "You know what I'm trying to say?" Marjorie hinted in the interview. "It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not part of my child's journey as she became famous. He wanted control." He would even ask about her schedule, projects, etc. Why does he need to know that? Marjorie said her children were already secure with her love, but Dennis, she alleged, became their emotional trigger. They would shake when they heard his voice. "It's not my story to tell, but every time he shouts and curses me on the phone while talking to the kids, they would tremble." Physical abuse allegations. Marjorie stated that ending her marriage with Dennis for good also meant that she reclaimed her power. When I left you 18 years ago, I removed your power over me, and for the first time, Marjorie opened up about the alleged physical, emotional, financial, and verbal abuse she suffered from Dennis. He was physically abusive to me, Ogie. He has a very bad temper, she said. She detailed an incident shortly after Julia was born. He was mad because I complained about something. I was going inside our room and from behind he hit me so hard in the ear. I went flying. My eardrum was gone. Marjorie added she later underwent surgery to reconstruct her eardrum and continued to suffer from hearing loss. Marjorie said her children witnessed these violent moments and carried that trauma with them through the years. She said they underwent therapy to cope, and every time Dennis went public again, it would set their progress back to zero. The aftermath of the wedding. Despite agreeing not to post about the wedding, Dennis reportedly went on social media before the reception even ended. Marjorie also claimed that after the event, he called Claudia repeatedly, even at 6 a.m. the next day. He also tried to reach Julia and Leon, but they did not answer, fearing an emotional confrontation. This behavior, Marjorie said, proves that Dennis isn't truly interested in rebuilding relationships. What Dennis wants is not relationship with his children. What he wants is attention, she said. She also didn't apologize for being seated in the front row during the wedding. I raised my child single-handedly. From the last day of her single life, I was there with her. I took care of her. I did everything for my daughter. I deserved that seat in the front. Dennis declares it's over. After the wedding, Dennis Padilla had a phone interview with Ogie Diaz and declared that his relationship with Claudia, Julia, and Leon was over. It was a heavy statement, one that Marjorie believes further proves her point. She said the children were so hopeful after the March 18th reunion. They thought it would be a fresh start, but with Dennis going public again, that hope was crushed. I've tried to protect them, but he says things that simply aren't true and they are tired of it. This situation between Dennis Padilla and his children is deeply personal and emotional, and now extremely public. As the Barretto kids continue to heal and move forward, Marjorie Barretto's revelations shed light on a history of pain and misunderstanding. For now, Claudia, Julia, and Leon remain firm in their decision to protect their peace, and their mother stands by them. Thank you for watching Celinka Updates. If you want more in-depth and truthful coverage on showbiz news, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.